Hello students, today I am going to present the second video of communication skills, which is the first unit of employability skills. So let's start. In this part of video, we will discuss about the following things: using capitals, punctuations, basic parts of speech, parts of sentences, types of objects, types of sentences, speaking correctly, phonetics, greetings, introducing yourself and others, filling form, need for asking questions, how to make sure we have complete information, and last one is types of questions. First is sentence. A sentence is a group of words that communicates a complete thought, or you can say it is a group of words that conveys a complete meaning. A sentence always starts with a capital letter and always ends with a full stop, question mark, and exclamation mark. Next is using capitals. As we all know, the sentences always begin with the capital letters. So if we want to remember where to capitalize a word, then there is a specific word that is used as a specific rule. That is the mints. Mints is a set of rule that helps us to capitalize words correctly. Each letter in the word mints refer to one capitalization rule. Now understand this rule with the help of a table. Here we can see each column have a particular character like M, I, N, T and S. M stands for month. Capitalize the first letter in all the names of the month. Whenever a month name is arrive in a sentence, it always be in capital form. For example, I will go to college in June. Here J is in capital form. Next is I, the letter. Capitalize the letter I when it is used to begin in a word. Means whenever a I comes at the starting of the sentence, then it always be in capital form. For example, I play tennis with him every day. Next is N. N stands for names. Capitalize the first letter in the names of people, places and days. It means whenever we write the name of person, place or a day's name, then again its first character is in capital form. For example, this Tuesday Vidya will be in Rajasthan. Here Tuesday is a day's name and its T is in capital form, then V is in capital form, then R in capital form. Next is the T. T stand for titles. Capitalize the first letter in the titles used before the people's name. Means if we use Mr., Mrs., Doctor, then the title first character is in capital form. Example, Dr. Shah and Dr. Patel. Here you can see M is in capital form and D is in capital form. Next is S, starting letter of sentences. Capitalize the first letter in every sentences. It is the most common rule. Now let's take example. The cat ran out of the house. Here the T is in capital form. Next is punctuation. It is a set of marks such as full stop, comma, question mark, exclamation mark. It helps us to separate parts of a sentence and explain its clear meaning. Punctuation is also a very important part of sentences and it has some rules. Now understand their usage with the help of a punctuation table. First is full stop. Here it is the sign of full stop. Shows the end of a sentence. Also used to show short form of a long words. Means it always used at the end of a sentence. Plus it also be used to represent a long sentences by putting 3 dots just like this. And it also be used to used with the help with the title name like Dr., Mr., Mrs. Example, Sanjay is a doctor. Next is comma. It is the sign of comma. Sometimes we use a comma to indicate a pause in the sentence. Means if we want to separate different things in a sentence, then we use comma. For example, after the waiter gave me a menu, I ordered food. Next is question mark. that is a sign of question mark. We use a question mark at the end of the question, means any type of question sentences at the end we use question mark. What is your name? How old are you? Next is exclamation mark, means if we want to represent our sudden feelings, then we use exclamation mark. Example, what a pleasant surprise, or you are late. Next is the apostrophe. We use an apostrophe followed by an S to show that something belongs to someone. Means if we want to represent that something is belong to a person or a thing, then we use apostrophe S. For example, let's go. Next is parts of speech. Basically, there are 8 parts of speech: noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. So start from the first, that is the noun. A noun is a word for a person, place, thing, or idea. Nouns are often used with an article, but not always. For example, Ram, Shyam, and Delhi. Next is pronoun. A pronoun is a word used in place of a noun like he, she, it, etc. Next is the verb. A verb expresses action or being. For example, can, could, is, am, are. Next is adjective. An adjective modifies or describes a noun or pronoun like red, quick, happy. Next is adverb. An adverb modifies or describes a verb, an adjective, or another adverb like quickly, happily, smoothly, etc. Next is preposition. A preposition is a word placed before a noun or pronoun to form a phrase modifying another word in the sentence. For example, before, after, from. Next is conjunction. A conjunction joins word, phrases, or clauses like and, but, because. And last one is interjection. An interjection is a word used to express emotions. You should be able to use these parts of speech in making sentences like oh, alas, wow, yahoo. Next is parts of a sentence. Basically, all the English sentences have a subject and a verb, but sometimes it have an object also. So let's take an example of a sentence. Divya reads a book. Here Divya is a subject, read is a verb, and object is a book. Subject means a person who does an action. Then next is the verb. A verb describes the action, and last one is the object on which, or you can say the thing that receives the action. Next is types of objects. There are 2 types of objects, direct and indirect. A sentence may either a direct object or indirect object. Direct objects are the ones directly acted on by the action word. A direct object answers the question what. For example, the dog bought a present. This sentence uses a direct object to tell what the subject bought, that is present. Next is an indirect object. Answers questions such as to whom and for whom. For example, the dog bought a present for the cat. This sentence adds an indirect object to also tell whom the subject bought the present for, the cat. Next is types of sentences, or you can say types of voices. Basically, there are 2 types of voices, active voice and passive voice. Active sentence. Sentences where the subject does an action are known as the active voice. For example, the girl was washing the clothes. Next is passive voice or passive sentence. A sentence in which the subject receives an action are known to be the passive voice. For example, the flute was played by Mohan. Next is the types of sentences according to their purpose. There are 4 types of sentences. First one is the declarative sentence. These sentences are used to tell about something and they always end with the full stop. Next is the interrogative sentences. These type of sentences uses the question words like what, where, how, and they always end with the question mark. Next is the exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentences show the strong feelings or strong emotions, and they always end with the exclamatory sign. Next and the last one is the imperative sentence. These sentences just like giving a command, and they end either by the full stop or the exclamation sign. Next is paragraphs. Paragraphs is a group of sentences organized around a central topic. While writing a paragraph, we have to make sure that paragraph writing must be focused on one idea. When we write about a different idea or different context, then we should make a new paragraph. Like here you can see an example. Next is pronunciation basics. So first of all we should know what is pronunciation. Pronunciation is the way we say a word, just as spelling is how we write a word. To communicate well when we speak, we need to know how to pronounce word correctly. Correct communication will help us to express ourselves in a clear and confident manner. It also helps others to understand our words easily. Sometimes the words have similar spellings but they pronounce differently, like here you can see your, world, chair, where. But sometimes different spellings may have same pronunciation, like sun, sun, sail, sail, tail, tail. Next is phonetics. First of all, we should know what is phonetics. Phonetics is the study of the sounds that we make when we speak or when we do conversation. As we know, every word is in any language is made up of one or more sounds. When we put these sounds together, then we pronounce a words. For example, there is a word that is written dog, means dog. When we speak, then we generate different kinds of sounds like d, o, g. Then it will make a complete word that is dog. Next is greetings. As we all know, there are many ways to greet a person. The greeting and reply to greeting at work is different from the greeting and reply given to a friend. So there are two ways of greeting, that is called formal and informal. Formal greeting. Formal greetings are used when we do not know the person. Generally, it is used to greet senior, elderly people or the people with whom we have formal relations like teachers, boss, customers, etc. In formal greeting, generally we say good morning, good evening, good afternoon, hello. Next is informal greeting. Informal greeting are used when we talk to a well-known person like our family members or our friend or to a known person. In this type of greeting, we generally say hey, hi, what's up. Next is introducing yourself and others. We can introduce ourselves just by telling our name and some general information like about our hometown, our job, or our interests. While introducing ourselves, we should remember that we have to look at the other person and smile. We can introduce someone to others by telling their name, what they do, how we know them, or even by describing something interesting about them. Means if we introduce to someone to other person, then we have to just tell their name, about their job, and just telling about their interest in front of the other person. Next is talking about self. Sometimes instead of talking, we have to write about ourselves in a form. A form is a typed or printed page with blank spaces for information. Each form is different, so we should read it properly before filling it. A form usually has the following fields for entering the personal information such as name, date of birth, address, PIN code, signature. Name. In the name field we have to just enter our name. Sometimes we may need to write the first name, middle name and the surname. Next is the date of birth. This is the date on which we were born. It is usually written as the day followed by the month followed by the year in numerals. Next is the address. This is the postal address which includes our house number and the details of the street, area and the city. Next is PIN code. This is a group of numbers used by the post office to identify a particular region. This is the most important part of an address. Next is signature. This is our name or the initials written by our hand in a specific way. Next is need for asking questions. A question is a request for getting specific information. It could be any type of information such as an answer to a question, information about a person or a place, or about how to do a particular task. Asking questions help us in the following ways. First, it is used to gain new knowledge and get new information. Next is to make sure that what we know is correct. Next, to avoid doubts, confusions and misunderstandings. And the last one is to start talking to people by asking about them and their ideas. Next is how to make sure we have complete information. So if we want to know that we have complete information, then we have to follow a method, that is 5W and 1H. Let us understand it with the help of a table. In the table, first is who. Who is used to ask about people. Means if you are going to ask about a people, then you have to use who. Example is, who is the new student in a class. Next is where. Where is used to ask about a place. Means if you want to ask about a place, then there we use where. Example is, where does she live. Next is when. When is used to ask about time. When we want to ask about a time, then there we use when. Example, when did she join school. Next is what. What is used to ask about a thing, an idea or an action. Means when we want to know about the thing, an idea or an action, then there we use what. Example, what is her favorite subject. Next is why. Why is used to find the reason. Means if we want to find the reason, then there we use why. Example, why is she not talking to anyone in the class. And the last one is how. How is used to find the method. Means if we want to know about anything, then there we use how. Example, how can I help her to make friends. Next and last topic is types of questions. Basically there are two types of questions, close-ended and second one is called open-ended. Close-ended. In close-ended form we answered the questions by simply saying either yes or no because the answers options are limited. For example, do you have a TV at home? The answer could be yes or no. In close-ended questions we use various helping verbs like be, do, have, can, shall, may, should, could. Next is open-ended. In open-ended questions, their answers are not limited to just yes or no. There, we have to give more information about the asked questions. We can form open-ended questions by using various question words such as what, why, who, how, when, and where. Thank you.